defend something because we're not RL guys. We're fiction. I know that's fine, Scribbled.
Okay.
So do you defend anything on IRL?
Nothing specific. No, that's what that's what debate.
You don't believe in. Wait, why do you even read philosophy if you don't believe in anything about it? What are you trying to?
Wait, what does that have to do with his belief? Fucking retard. He's stupid.
I'm asking you.
Why did you just say the word belief? You fucking retard. Why did you just say that word?
This guy.
You actual fucking retard.
Yo, Tim, we already put you in the dumpster, bro.
I fucking raped you. You're trash.
We already put you in the
I fucked you up bad. You started schizo-babbling. You lost bad.
Right here. No, that didn't happen here. Somebody put a mute on that guy, please. All right. I don't know, bro. Like this guy's.
I asked you to affirm a prop 3 times before you even tried that.
And we did. We literally said that Saint Seiya and Black Clover beats your character, and now I'm asking you about IRL. I mean, opposed IRL. I don't really.
You said yes.
I said we're gonna debate you on IRL. You said you don't believe on anything.
No, nothing specific. That's why I debate anything. Like what?
You don't believe in anything specific?
No, that's why I debate everything on Philo. Pick a Philo topic.
Well, then there's not really a point.
Okay, so because I don't believe in it, that means no, some crazy. I don't even have a belief on say it beats whoever you said earlier. I don't even care, but I still debated you on it, and you still debated me. So clearly, my belief does not matter to you. You're trying to find some way like run away.
Your belief does matter to me because if you're not well read on anything, it's like like what are we gonna debate? What are we gonna debate? What are we gonna debate then?
Nigga, do you know any IRL?
You said that you don't believe in anything, and I said, oh,
hey, you want to do
I'm not an IRL debater.
Someone here pick a topic. Anyone here pick a topic.
Yo, Fisher, do you want to affirm God's existence?
Oh, there you go. God's existence. There you go. So y'all affirm.
We can affirm God's existence.
Okay. So do you treat G as a? You treat G
as a? Hold on. Like, you're not starting. Hold on, you're not gonna start off this debate. I'll just like put the argument in the chat.
Okay.
Just if I'm into this game, I gotta tell you.
These niggas are actually dirt, bro.
Yo,
I'm just gonna let you know if that shit has P1, you lost game.
You lost. Oh God, you lost.
Oh my God, you guys are crazy, bro. Y'all niggas.
Like that shit better not have a fucking.
Bro,
a lot.
Bro.
Yeah, okay, look in the chat. Hold on, look in chat.
Which chat? Wait, which chat?
In general.
Bro, don't be me, bro.
General?
Mm-hmm.
These niggas are gonna be me.
So, you might be a little sped, Vert.
Explain.
Where is the argument?
Hold on.
Vert, listen here, close, right? When you have the symbols, you have the symbols, but there is no argument. This nigga stupid?
Arguments within the symbols.
There's just the symbols, nigga. Look, listen. Now, let's say I have an argument, right? Like the content. These are just unsaturated variables. Like let's just say I have P1, right? I'm gonna put in chat P1, P2, looking RX, SK, then like P3 conclude like all these things, but there is no content involved in the argument. Then you're not actually expressing. It's just a structure of an argumentation. We look at the picture. we analyze the picture. It just says, well, P a function of X, or equals X in potency, or A equals X in act, and then subsistence. But all you're doing is just explaining what actually fills in the variables themselves, but you're not actually putting it into an argumentative structure. I'm not looking at anything.
So I mean, if you were tracking, like you would know that that's not the argument, right? That's just like laying out variables.
Wait, that's
laying out the variables.
Argument. Wait. Just say that's not.
Bro, he was giving you the variables. Your ass, bro. This nigga's a fucking yapper. Shut up and stop schizo babbling, and then you'll track. Same thing with the other guy. This is your problem. Like y'all read some random book for like 5 minutes, and then assume you're Gandhi.
I don't even read, bro. You need to. Yo, listen.
This is my debate. Who else is talking, bro?
Where's the argument?
Yeah, close that mic immediately.
Where's the argument?
He's sending it. Do I have the arguments scribbled?
Who knows?
Y'all sending it, right?
Does it make sense when I told you that I'm a fiction debater for me to have these arguments, bro.
Official, I know efficient rate. That's why you're shitty.
Does it make sense? Does it make sense, bro? Like, I don't know. You and your homeboy, you just ask dumbass questions. I'm just trying to get you guys to think.
What does it mean for a question to be dumb? We're gonna.
What does it mean for a question to be dumb?
You can do
Arguments.
We clearly don't have an argument in favor of God. I mean, what I'm looking at here is this. There we go. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Justify monotonicity.
Just to have the property of being dumb. Like, I don't. That's a question.
Why do I have to justify that? No, explain what monotonicity is and why I have to justify it.
Okay, so something is monotonic if it satisfies the semantic entailment, extension preservation, which is semantic entailment relation, whereby a more theoretic necessity entails the truth.
First of all, send me a definition because monotonic systems and monotonic functions are basically used within math.
Yeah, I got the look at me, this guy, right? Because you asked me a question, you wouldn't
know. Hold on, so you can show me the definition that you're using or appealing to.
No, like I was saying about the truth, right? Set propositions entail the truth of another. Now, formally,
hold on, so wait, do these set propositions? Do these set propositions have a do they have a sample size? Do these set propositions have a sample size? So a set gamma in reference to, right? If these set propositions don't have a sample size that they're in reference to, then we would have
this is trolls.
There's no deviation from the actual mean. We're actually therefore your statement is inconsistent. It has no actual fucking relevance.
Under the Aristotelian argumentation,
bro, hey, can we get moderation? Yeah, we need moderation.
Wait. I
need moderation.
I was talking first. Why would you get moderation?
Because you guys are just talking over each other and spurting. This is childish. It's childish, bro. Calm down. Nobody else is that high irate. Like, why is your energy so high? Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Do you know how to have a normal conversation? Are you fucking? Were you dropped on your head as a baby? Why is he still talking, bro? I'm genuinely convinced these niggas are like, bro, y'all niggas are slow. Niggas either going to a fucking mental hospital. What is wrong with these niggas? They just don't shut up, and they're just listen, calm down, so you can debate. I'm trying to make it so you guys can actually engage with some substance, and you're just yapping, talking about go ahead. Shut the fuck up.
I has got mute. So
bro, we get it, but we're trying to move forward. That's not helping.
He asked me a question. I was answering.
Bro, listen. That's not helping. You bringing up that is not helping.
Well, it did.
It didn't. You shutting up. Okay, now one of you guys will go talk about the argument and we'll explain the argument, and then you'll give your contentions after instead of just talking for like 30 minutes.
Oh, no. I'm not repeating myself. I'm done. Like, he asked me a question. I answered.
Okay, then. Okay, bye.
What's your response? Bye. So because you can't respond.
Oh my god.
Did you kick him?
Yo.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I kicked him. I did kick him.
DC is just like the server.
Yeah, no, he got kicked here. We can debate 10 or something. Like, he would get beat up again. Like, I don't know.
Yo, you're garbage. I'm not gonna hold you, bro.
Yeah, wait, Spec. We could debate Spec.
We can do that.
All right, Spec. Hold on, Spec. You want to justify that? Why?
Wait, justify what? Be clear.
Yeah, tell me why I'm garbage.
When we say garbage here, are you talking about, like trash we put on the
No, I'm
street?
asking you what you meant, bro. How are you confused? Why are you asking me for clarification on what you fucking said?
Okay.
Stunlock of death. You're fucking ass. Nigga, go back to the bottom barrel of low tiers.
We could just debate.
Be gone. Back to the bottom barrel of low tiers. Let's unmute 10. Maybe he'll get some substance. These niggas suck.
Alright, so Vert, you want to render that argument for me? Where's that argument again? You want to do theology?
This shit is crazy.
Right.
Actually, no, you could attack my syllogism. It's in the chat. It's literally in the chat. You could attack my syllogism if you have any problems with it.
You said it again.
No, then don't do no like any logic shit, bro. Just actually like attack the
Don't
syllogism.
do any logic shit. What do you mean by that? What does it even mean?
We just bring up monotonic systems and other bullshit that's like pretty irrelevant.
Okay, sure. No, so okay, I see the argument. Okay, if you want, I don't even care to read this shit. This is ass. Yeah, I think the inference only works if there's like several unpaid engines that are doing all the work.
So what? If there's several what engines? Agents?
Several unpaid engines.
What the fuck is this nigga talking about? Yeah, define that.
Yeah, an unpaid engine is just like you're stacking. Like what I mean by that is just you're stacking like the whole machine of assumptions, and you're never defending any of the things. First, you can
This nigga said
the
machine
first engine.
assumptions. First of all, hold on. Okay, the
The
assumptions
first engine.
themselves within. Wait, first of all, the assumptions themselves within the syllogisms are already justified with by arguments that I literally gave reasoning for. Right? If you actually look at the fucking argument or like the syllogism I sent, right, you see in parentheses. I say because the universe exhibits structures, laws, fine-tuned constants, and information-bearing systems are not plausibly the result of physical processes. Right? That's a given justification for these things. That those two things are already fulfilled within my syllogism. Therefore, I don't have to like do the shitty ass like assumption machine shit that you just gave. That's just retarded as fuck. Actually, give an argument.
Okay, I'm gonna respond. Relax yourself. So listen, you didn't justify anything there. You're just repeating the same machinery inside of the parentheses there. That's the problem, right? Like putting because in some form of sentence is not a justification. It just asserts the rule that you're already assuming there, right? You said,
You know
oh,
what because
fine.
is in reference to? Wait, do you know what because is in reference to?
Okay,
You know what it implies? The
you
nigga
gotta
doesn't know
relax yourself.
shit.
So we're gonna repeat what you said, right? You said fine-tuned constants and information systems are not possibly the result of physical processes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sentence already there invokes some form of modal machinery, right? You're asserting some form of impossibility, right? So what fixes the
Wait, hold on.
modality?
It's on. Wait, hold on. If you want to talk about modality, wait, then you could give me the justification or give me like any sort of statistical framework of these things applying within a set system where it has to apply to like machines stacking upon assumptions.
Why? Where it has to apply to machines? What?
Machinery, hello, the machinery shit that you brought up, where it applies to machinery stacking upon assumptions within the same framework, that's relative towards what I'm arguing.
That's okay. Like you invoke the modal claim, yes or no?
That invoke a modal claim?
Yes or no? Did you invoke a modal claim?
Not answering that.
You're not answering that. You're not answering that you invoked the modal claim or not. Are you
No,
serious? Are you serious?
I don't need to.
Yeah, I'm used to
Okay.
jerking, but what the heck is a modal machinery? What the
Niggas fucking.
Listen. Listen. Since you're ducking the question, let's say, okay, in the context to explain to you what machinery means, it's very, very simple. It's just like machinery just simply means like the hidden
No, no,
rules
no,
that
hold on.
make.
I don't know what machinery is. Let me. Hold on.
Hey,
How long
show
y'all
me
gonna
what
debate this?
machinery means, brother. So I
Why are you interrupting me while I'm
Yeah,
explaining
I'll
what
show you what
machinery
machinery
is?
is. Hold on,
Relax.
hold on. I'm explaining to you
Yeah,
what machinery is. Hey, look in chat. Look in chat. This is what machinery is.
nigga's too trash. I don't know why he's ducking.
This what machinery is, nigga. Look in chat.
Why are you
Ducking
ducking?
who? Who am I ducking?
So
Why are
wait,
you
how does
ducking?
that have anything to do with,
Wait, who am I
So Vert,
ducking?
have anything to do with
so Vert,
logic, bro?
Wait, who am
so
I
Vert,
ducking?
so Vert. Machinery simply is the system of assumptions that makes the inference valid,
that sounds like a
appear
blueprint. Let
valid,
me look this up on my
that
You
makes
phone.
said
the
what?
sentence appear valid. That
Yeah,
sounds
show
like a
me the
blunder. Why is that
definition
a
that you're
blunder?
appealing to.
You like
Yo,
the
show
why
me this
is that
definition
why is
that you're
that a
appealing
blunder?
to.
What?
Yeah, show me this definition that you're appealing to.
Show you the definition that I'm appealing to?
Yeah, show me in any like listed website that's like actually
Why
credible.
does it
By the
have to
way,
be a
like,
linguistic website?
well, wait, hold up, because I could just be some bullshit ass definition that you're giving out of your ass that I don't even know of, right? Because nobody usually under like any type of like inner dialogue, right? People don't use the word mortal machinery even within theology debates and stuff like that, where mortal logic's used and inscribed within this dialectics. They don't use shit like mortal machinery because
They
nobody's
don't.
fucking heard of that
Why is that?
bullshit, nigga.
Why is that? What do you mean they don't use? What do you mean by that? Like,
They don't. What I mean by they don't use, they don't bring up the said terminology that you brought up, which
would you
is
like to prove
mortal
that?
machinery or a
Would you
phrase.
like to
Can I
prove that?
prove that? Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it's just empirically the case, but you can look at most debates.
What do you mean?
Show
What do
me
you mean
like
by
any.
empirics? What do you mean
You
by
can look at
empirics?
most of what I mean by empirics is the observation of things. Observation of record. You can look at the observation of recordings. No one really says shit like motor machinery,
Can
right?
you ground that?
Can I ground that? No, I don't need to.
You don't need to ground it, so therefore it's fucking irrelevant.
It's not
That's
relevant.
not how that works.
It's literally not how it works, by the way.
Okay, so moving on, since you can't ground that, and I don't give a fuck about your
Bro,
observation
we
there,
don't.
right?
Oh my
So when
God,
I say
things are
machinery,
grounded.
when I say machinery, I'm not appealing to some form of special theory or some form of technical philosophical definition. I'm just naming a rule or framework that makes an inference go through.
Yeah,
That's
that's
simply
pretty
just basic logic.
hilarious.
So an argument never runs on some form of premise alone. We never would say that, obviously,
No,
right?
no, hold
An
on,
argument runs on the
wait,
rules
hold on.
that
This nigga,
communicate to
wait,
the
you realize the argument doesn't? Oh, you realize the argument doesn't need a premise, right? You realize the argument doesn't really need a premise. It could just have one premise.
What does that have to do with anything I just said?
No, you just said argument. Like you don't accept arguments off of just like a premise, nigga. When arguments literally just you can literally
I
make
said that
argument
an
off of premise.
argument never
Do
runs
you know
on
what an elliptical?
simply
Hold on,
just
I have a question. Do you know what an
premises.
elliptical argument is? Hold on. Do you know what an elliptical argument is?
Is that arithmetically sound to even ask?
Is that aesthetically sound to even ask? What does that mean?
Are you going to answer the question?
Arithmetic soundness is just simply checking the presuppositions and the relevancy of the question there.
Repeat that.
Arithmetic soundness is simply just asking, oh, is this a study of questions? What's the presuppositions and the relevancy of the question?
So wait. So we're gonna do the study of. Okay, so if it's in reference to the study of questions, right? There's no real question given that's under any set of systematic frameworks that applies to that dialogue that was given, right? So you could I'm gonna throw that shit out the window and dismiss it, right? So
What
I'm
do
gonna
you
go
mean by
back
that?
to
What do you
elliptical
mean by that?
argument
What do
because
you mean by that?
you
What
didn't
do you
answer
mean
my
by that?
question.
What do you
What
mean
an
by that?
elliptical
What do you
argument
mean
is,
by that?
right?
What do
So
you
all
mean
an
by that?
elliptical argument
What do you
is a
mean by
logical
that?
argument
What do
where
you
one or
mean
more
by that? What do
premises
you mean by that? Why are
or
you
the
dodging the
conclusion are
burden? What do
omitted
you mean
because
by
they
that?
are understood from
What
the
do you mean
context.
by that?
Right.
Why
So
are you
if we
dodging
have
the burden?
contextual, wait, hold up,
Why are you
hold
dodging
up.
the burden?
I'm gonna have to mute this nigga because he
Why are
keeps
you
talking over
dodging the
me.
burden?
There's no burden. So yeah, first of all, right? I already give the argument or like the definition of elliptical argument, right? So in this case, elliptical argument would follow through because we realized that one of my premises from my conclusion or like the conclusion in general is just like omitted because they're understood from the contextual interchangeability.
Is this nigga okay? Okay, so listen, right? All like I don't even know why you're asking. Like, what's the relevance of you asking what an epileptical argument is?
It's
What's
an
the relevance?
elliptical,
Yes.
not epileptic. Oh,
Yo,
this
this
nigga's
nigga can't.
I
retarded.
Oh
don't.
my god.
I dead ass don't give a fuck. I dead ass don't give.
You're retarded.
What's the relevance?
Yo,
You
please,
cash
want to
out
give
the
him that?
relevance?
You want to tell him?
Huh?
You want to
Can
tell
you
him?
cash out the relevance, please?
The relevance of the elliptical argument? Oh, I don't know. He was just showing a counterexample to what you're saying with an elliptical argument.
Yeah.
What's the relevance of the question, please?
The relevance of the question?
Yeah.
He was asking if you're aware of the counterexample to your position that proved it to be false.
It
Is
just
that
makes it
really
rhetorical.
true?
Hold on, it just makes it rhetorical. It just makes it rhetorical from my side because it just makes your shit look stupid.
His whole thing was objecting
Can't
to
really
it.
answer
This
it.
is all an objection. That's why it's relevant.
What objection to what is the objection then?
That there's counterexamples to the
There
position.
is counterexamples. Would you like
Yeah.
to? Would you like to exhaust that?
He showed
Already did.
exhausted.
With the
If by
elliptical argument.
exhaust you mean showcase, he already did when he brought up elliptical arguments as a counterexample.
He brought it up. Did he
Yeah.
cash it out?
Yeah. Hold up. You want me to give you a full on example?
He
Alright,
showcased
sure.
elliptical, bro. Like I don't.
He is a human, so he is mortal, right? The missing premise is gonna be all humans are mortal. There we go.
He is a human, so he is mortal. What?
Yeah. Has missing premise within it, which is a part of arguments that like we're using within basic syllogistic arguments, right? Because obviously something has to be like what do you call it, assumed when you're given an argument. Most things are like or like most arguments, for example. I'm not gonna say all arguments because some niggas feel like they ass use arguments that have like all premises like justified, like or unassumed. I wouldn't say justified, just unassumed. But most time when someone's giving an argument using syllogism, they're using missing premises. They have hidden premises within their
Yeah, those
syllogism.
are enthymemes.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. So the counter example question, right? So if someone asks, "Oh, are you aware of some form of counter example to your position?" Right?
Let's
Like,
do the first
would
one.
you say that? Why is that question relevant in the instance there?
Why is it relevant?
Yes.
Yeah, because it goes back to the framework that me and you were arguing over because you tried to put it into question. The assumptions that are given, right? Try to put into question the assumptions that were given. And I'm just brought up an lexical argument, which corresponds back to what I was using within my syllogism, because obviously I had like certain hidden premises, right? And these premises, they don't really need to be justified because they're axiomatic. And if you want to appeal to S5 axiom, like I'll just appeal to X5 axiom because it's like,
You want to appeal to the S5 axiom?
yeah, that's fine.
What is the S5
Yeah.
axiom?
What's the S5 axiom? Do you want me to give you a definition? Like actual like screenshot definition from a website or any like
Can you not?
encyclopedia?
Can you not exhaust it with your own words because you're retarded?
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. So if something is possible, then it's necessarily possible.
Is that what you think the S5 is?
Mm-hmm.
I think you're mixing several things together, right? So you're saying if something is possible, then it's necessarily possible. That's not the That's not the key principle of the S5.
Bro,
That people use
this
in
is
modal
Okay,
arguments
so
there.
do you want to search it up? Do you want to search it up?
Yeah,
Okay, then we
the
can search it up right
censored.
now.
this
Yeah,
is
the censored. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's
No,
fine. Okay, yeah.
so
So we have a
if
AI
something is
overview. I'm
possibly
honestly don't accept the AI
necessary, then it is
overviews, which I don't
necessary.
really understand why you
No,
wouldn't accept
that's
AI
literally not
overviews.
what the S5 is. I can explain to you what the S5 is. If something is possibly necessary, then it is necessary. That's all the S5 is saying there, right? You're an idiot.
If something is possible, this it doesn't say if something is
Wait, so
possible.
do y'all want to
It
go
says-
down VC and debate me? Like the people who are talking shit? Like, I'll just debate like whoever feels
Yo,
like
I
they
already,
got
bro,
the
I already beat
Okay,
you.
we can look at the definition. So we
You
already have the
bro.
AI
You got
overview of the
your ass
definition.
whipped. You didn't beat nobody ass.
Like, okay, so S5 axiom, right, says that if
This
something
nigga's
is
so
possible,
retarded, bro.
it is necessarily possible. It doesn't go with the shitty ass definition that you gave. Right?
Yeah, I'm not
You
gonna
can't show
lie.
me
He
the
did.
scenario.
Shit. Well, the definition is right there. It is written as if something is possible, it is necessarily possible. So how is he confusing a bunch of things?
So listen, what I said was that
That's
is
been
not the key. Why am I getting interrupted? What I said was that's not the key S5 principle people normally use in modal arguments there.
Wait, if it's not the key, why would it be putting in the AI overview? Would it just be using some
Wait,
sort
wait,
of
wait. What do you mean
niche
by the AI
definition of the
overview?
S5
What do
axiom?
you mean? What do
Right?
you,
Because
wait, wait,
if
what?
that was
was
the
the
What do you
case,
mean by
AI,
AI
the
AI would be
overview?
language
inconsistent,
AI.
right?
What
Oh,
do
so
you mean
you
by
you
the
said the
Over
AI itself is
What do you
is a
inconsistent.
mean?
Okay, go ahead
language
and
What do
tool.
you
justify.
mean? Wait. What do you mean by
Oh
that? What
my
do you mean
gosh,
by that?
this nigga is so
What
ass.
do you mean
He's
by that?
ass.
What do you mean by that?
I'm gonna drop
What do you mean
VC.
by that?
What do you mean? What
What
do
do
we
you
mean?
mean by that?
Not being retarded.
Why are you ducking? Vert, why you mean by that?
What do you mean? What I mean by that? I already explained
You
it.
said if something is put into the AI overview, we should take it to be true?
What? No, I'm saying it's.
You there?
My bad. But yeah, well, we could do shit. Like a real debate. Like don't act like the retard. I'm gonna just Pegasus Seiya plus the Gold Saints. Pegasus Seiya and the Gold Saints. No, it's Saint Seiya. What do you mean appeal? I'm not gonna scale the same way they scale, but
Thing or
no, I do. I was just saying
okay, cool.
I'm
So
not gonna scale like VSBW because they be adding a bunch of extra stuff that I feel like it's not needed.
yeah, cool. What tiering system do you want to use? Or do you think that you have some sort of win con outside of scaling?
No, what do you mean? Like, okay, so we could just go by like a basic tiering system. Like, oh well, we can use universal terms. Just if you can prove that your character is significantly stronger, faster, out hacks by usual not VSBW phosphorus standards, and it's fine.
What are the crossverse standards we're applying here, though? That's why I'm asking you to posit a tiering system.
Yeah, like you can talk about like outscaling or out hacking.
I don't know where you're scaling your character, though. Like, I can just posit some sort
Yeah,
of
I can just
scaling.
say I can just say my character can destroy planets. Like his energy is like planet ranges.
Okay,
Ah,
so
I guess we can because I'll cook it.
what? Wait, you cut out. Your mic cut out, dude.
Uh, oh no, but
Yeah, dude, we can just use like character stats and profiles, power scaling wiki.
you can use them, bro. If it's easier for you to understand, but
Okay,
like I
so when we
said,
say the
I don't
character,
think you're confused when I say that my character can destroy a planet and your character can survive planet explosions, then my character beats yours. Like, it's not hard.
Okay, so you're just referring to your character being planetary. That's just, and I'm not saying that your character is planetary.
That's a tiering system. That's a tiering system.
That's just the wording I'm using.
That's a tiering system.
Okay, so okay, that's fine, dude. Do you want to appeal to a tiering system or not?
Yeah, like I said, if it makes it easier to understand, but all I need for you in the debate or the crossroads debate is just prove your character is stronger, faster, has a hacks that counters mine or something.
I guess, bro. Okay. Pegasus from Saint or whatever. Yeah. So where are you
Pegasus
gonna?
and the Gold Saints.
Yeah, Pegasus and the Gold Saints. Where are you gonna be scaling
And then
that to?
who do you have?
Yeah, I can just posit Neros from Shinzo Banka.
Neros.
Yeah.
Okay, can you scale them? Alright, can you scale them?
Can I scale him? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sure. I mean, I thought you were gonna be going first. I was just taking the negation.
Then so you don't think that your character wins?
No. When I say the negation there, I'm just saying when we provide
Yeah, I know.
reasoning.
I was just
Yeah.
asking to clarify. So yes
Okay.
or no?
Wait. Am
So
I
you don't
saying
think
that?
your character wins?
Okay. No. Wait. What? I do think my character wins. I'm just taking the negation to your stance.
Is that my character wins?
Okay, when we say negation affirmative is just saying that I'm going to be providing reasoning on why my character beats yours. But
Okay,
when all
that's
this,
cool. That's like Lily saying. That's like Lily saying the same thing that I. Okay, that's fine. I thought you were saying something different, or you were confused. All right.
no,
Since you don't have scaling for your character,
no.
how am I gonna? If you don't have scaling for your character, then like, what am I
think you're
scaling
confused.
against?
I think you're confused on like the affirmative and the negation. When I'm
Oh
saying,
no, I'm saying matter. I'm saying that doesn't matter right now. I'm asking you like, well, if you're not gonna scale your character, what am I gonna be scaling against? Like all that other stuff, I understand. I don't need you to elaborate on the philosophy shit. Bye.
wait, no, it's not philosophy. All I'm
No,
saying
bro,
is that
no, I don't need that.
you're,
Just tell me just answer the question, bro. What am I
okay,
going to
you're
be
going to be
scaling
providing reasoning
against?
first. Wait, okay, let me just explain this real quick, right? You can just tell me if you have some sort
I
of
don't need that. Just tell me what am I scaling against? Like normally in a cross where you're going to be like, oh, well, your character doesn't surpass the planet level range, so my character wins. But if you don't have the exact range from,
Okay,
like,
yeah, I can
what
just
am I supposed to do?
I'm just gonna be using this name as like this. I could just appeal to VSPW for myself. I don't think you want to appeal to VSPW. Um, yeah. Anyway, I just say my character's just gonna be high outer plus.
Your character's high outer,
High outer plus, yeah.
and what does that mean?
Yes, I mean they're just gonna have the power to control or encompass all logically possible worlds or any sort of
Oh,
logically.
why can they control all logic? Wait, hold on. Why can you prove your character so logically all logical possible worlds? Like, where's that stated?
Yeah, I got you, bro.
Gonna be fucking annoying. Okay. Just send the screenshot in chat. Big Vert won that. I'm not gonna lie, and lost bad.
Who did Vert debate?
Big Vert, he debated that nigga 10 after I beat him up. That
Wait, I
nigga
can't
10 was
send
confused.
attachments. I can't
Huh?
send attachments in the channel.
You can't send what?
I can't send attachments in the channel.
Oh, okay. Here, let me give you image terms. Image. Pick perms. There you go.
Alright, I can
You
send
can
it.
send attachments now.
Yeah, I got you. Alright, bro. Yeah, let me just send it a scan, bro. Alright, it's just gonna be saying is the power to create the concept of possible worlds. I mean, it's just gonna follow under some sort of modal realism there.
We're just in the picture.
Oh yeah, it's just inside chat. The baby VC2.
What's that?
Yeah, it just says due to Nero's manipulation of time.
No, I was asking what. Oh, okay. I was asking where is that? Due to Nero's manipulation, he created the concept of possible worlds. Since he held a tight grip. So. So he. Okay, in what way can you manipulate? I don't think you manipulate all possible. Wait, let me see. You have to grant that with this. Since he held a tight grip. Oh, wait, stop. I'm reading it. Since he held a tight grip on the manipulation time with that ability, it also created the concept of possible worlds parallelity as that connect. Oh, yeah, so I don't have to grant that he can manipulate all possible worlds with this. I don't have to grant that, but I can say, like, yeah.
Wait, what are you talking about there? Like, what do you mean I don't have to grant that? Do you have a
contention? It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. All it says is that he has a tight grip on the manipulation of time, and he created the concept of possible worlds. I don't think that means that he has absolute control over all possible worlds. That's a different statement analytically speaking.
When we say no, actually, when we say concept, we're just referring.
Wait, can you prove that?
Well, okay. Yeah, when I say concept, okay.
No, that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking you to prove that it is the same thing. Okay, I want you to prove that when we say that because you have a tight manipulation on time and you created the concept of possible worlds, that's the same thing as saying that you have absolute domain or control over all possible worlds.
Okay, yeah, so when you say
definitionally speaking, I don't take it to be the case by Oxford or like with any.
Okay, yeah. When we say created the concept, right? We're not saying manipulation there. I think you're confusing the manipulation of time with the creation of the concept of possible worlds.
No, that's not what I'm confusing. I can grant that there is a tight grip of manipulation of time, contextually, whatever that speaks to. And then there's also, they invoke the idea that he created the concept of possible worlds, right? What I'm objecting to is that when you say that you create the concept of possible worlds, it is the same thing to say that you have absolute control over all possible worlds. Analytically speaking, I don't take it to be the case because created just talks about the act of creation. Is just talking about type of the subject in the scenario, which in this case is concept. It's just talking about the concept. That's all that the speaking to right there. And then contextually, when they're talking about concept, they put the sentence together of possible worlds, and they call this thing as a concept parallelity as the connection to that ability. So they're establishing a connection between the ability called parallelity and possible worlds. But right here, I still don't see where it says you have absolute control over the possible worlds. It just seems to be you reaffirming your initial claim without any.
Yeah, that's what I said you're confused about.
And then, definitionally speaking, like I don't think that any like accepted dictionary or anything like that, or even in Japanese, those things are considered to be the same sentences. But if there's any way you can prove that, then that'd be great.
Okay, wait, hold on. Yeah, just to be clear here, when we say creating there, it's gonna encompass everything. He can manipulate it fully to the maximum extent if he's gonna be creating the concept. So,
I just deny that precondition. Fictionally speaking.
But you said definitionally speaking, right? But
because first off, again, the scan, nothing in the series has told me that because he created all of these possible worlds, that he must have absolute control over it. And I don't even think, logically speaking, we would reach that conclusion because he had the creation of all possible worlds and parallelity whatever in the tight grip of manipulation. That means that I don't take it that logically, fictionally, when I say fictionally, I'm just saying contextually it means that I don't see any proof of that. Like what I'm saying, this is equally explained. I think this is equally and better explained by just the simple explanation which is going to be more parsimonious. That A, he created the concept of all possible worlds parallelity and has the connection to that ability, which is what the scan affirms.
What? Okay, wait. Okay, I just need some clear-cut argument for parsimony.
Oh, okay. Well, I take it that in this case it would be more parsimonious by our grading method because A, we're not invoking well-evidenced entities, right? In this case, you're positing A, that the statement says, well, he has the ability to absolute domain over the, but all we see here is just created the concept of possible worlds parallelity. When we look at the current words and their current meanings, right? Their current definitions, these things don't analytically say that. Right, so this would be the thing that's more supported. This would be the this would be the thing that's better supported. Right, you're positing more entities.
Okay, wait, really quick, real quick. I asked you for the argument for parsimony, not our initial claims about the statement. I think you're just reaffirming.
Why are you? What do you mean? Are you asking me to? What are you asking me to argue?
I'm
what does that
mean? You for the argument for parsimony because you're taking parsimony.
What does that mean?
True.
You
don't know what parsimony means?
What do you mean not saying parsimony is true? What does that mean for parsimony to be true? Like, what's the truth maker?
Okay, wait. I'm asking you for the argument for parsimony. I didn't say anything about.
You're asking me. You're asking me like something that supports parsimony.
What's the argument for parsimony? Because all you did was reaffirm the claims that we stated previous to the scan.
And I'm asking you what prove parsimony. Like, what is that? What is that?
Wait, you don't know what parsimony is, but you just
tried to. No, I'm asking you what prove parsimony.
What do I mean by prove parsimony? I just mean give sufficient justification for it.
Justification, and what's your kind of justification? Like good reason to believe in parsimony?
Sure, bro. Just give an argument for parsimony.
Okay, well, a good to believe in parsimony, or what I'm saying to be true, is because how we determine under the theory of parsimony what's going to be more parsimonious is whether this thing is more well supported, right? And we're not positing as many entities beyond necessity.
Official, I didn't ask you for the definition of parsimony. I asked you to give an argument for parsimony.
I didn't. Okay, well, the reason is because this is an argument for parsimony.
So, definition of
so what do you mean by parsimony? What
parsimony when I say argument there, I'm just looking for some sort of formal argument, sort of like syllogism, or it could just be informal. Just give an argument for parsimony.
Okay, but I need you to elaborate on what that's meant. Like an argument for what is it? What claims does parsimony make?
Okay, so you don't know what parsimony is, but you just try to.
No, I'm asking you what claims does parsimony makes.
Okay, I think
that you're asking for me to prove to be.
I think we could just not uphold parsimony then.
If no, bro, you're not confused, bro. You're confused, bro. I'm asking you a question. Not gonna just not appeal to it. I'm asking you, what does it mean for you to prove parsimony to be true? Prove parsimony says what it says, or because I don't think parsimony is making out.
It's up to you. I asked you for the argument for parsimony. You stated the definition.
If it's up to me, wait.
Yo, okay.
If I state the definition.
Go ahead.
So what are you? Are you asking whether what I said, whether the reason I meets the sufficient conditions for my explanation to be more? We went on the definition. You didn't have intentions with the definition. You're just asking me for. I already proved it. In the case that we're talking about whether it meets sufficient conditions to be parsimonious.
You gave the definition of parsimony. I'm asking you for the argument for parsimony. You're not giving me.
I'm asking you, what does that mean?
You don't know what parsimony is?
I'm asking you, what does it mean to actually argument for parsimony? What are you asking for?
Yeah, I'm asking you to give a formal or informal argument about parsimony.
About what though? About parsimony?
Yo, why? Yo.
What about parsimony?
Yeah. What about parsimony? You tried to uphold parsimony, and I'm asking you for an argument, Dave. If you don't give an argument, we could.
Wait, bro, I'm asking you, what about parsimony? You're asking me for?
We could just come to conclusions, bro. I genuinely
so you're not going to answer the question?
not going to answer the question.
I'm trying to answer it, but I'm confused on the question.
Okay, I'm telling you to justify parsimony. What are you confused about?
Justify it?
Yes, bro. When I say justify it there, I just mean give sufficient.
What does it mean for parsimony to be justified?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking you.
You're asking me what it means for parsimony to be justified?
I'm asking you to give an argument.
You just said that you're asking me parsimony to be justified.
Okay, bro. We could just come to conclusions, bro.
We're not going to conclusions if we're not clear on what's said.
Yo, I don't think you're clear on what you're talking about. I've asked you to give an argument for parsimony. If you don't know what it means, if you don't know what it means to justify parsimony, then we can come to conclusions.
Okay, so it should be preferred over more complex. Let me see. Oh yeah, so be better. Okay, so I think.
I don't care what you think. I'm just give the argument.
Okay, then justification. I think you do care what I think.
Oh, just hurry up and give the argument, nigga.
It's rational. So by justification, are you asking for a sufficient reason, evidence, or a warrant that supports a belief or claim, or action is rational or acceptable? Like, what are you asking?
Yeah, bro, it could just be sufficient reasoning, supports your claim.
Okay, and my claim is that what I said was more parsimonious.
That's unclear. Okay, can you give an argument for parsimony?
And what is parsimony? Is not parsimony is making. Like what type? Like what does it mean? Because all it's saying is that the simplest explanation adequately accounts for action preferred over complex alternatives. So then all should be preferred.
That just sounds like all
should, yeah, and all should be preferred. All should be preferred means in that context is it is rational methodologically choose it over the alternatives, and all the factors are equal. All that is determined by part.
Yo, hold on. Are you just going to Google AI and searching this shit up? Can you just go to ChatGPT and tell it to render you an argument real quick?
Bro, I don't think you're understanding. I think you're confused. I think you're just well informed.
Yo, I think you're lost.
I don't think you need. I don't think you have to give an argument for. I don't think you have to give an argument for this, which I already did. It just relies on the definition.
You're just.
Why would you end the recording?
Nigga, you're garbage.
You ended the rec.
That was arbitrary, bro. We could just like open it do that earlier.
Wait, did he just end the rec?
Okay, Ronnie's still wrecking or whatever. Yeah, bro. I think you're lost. When I tell you to give an argument for parsimony, which what you earlier described as Occam's razor, can you tell me why we're gonna be holding to this? Like, can you give me an argument for
parsimony that? Parsimony doesn't say that you have to or ought to be holding to it. All it says is that you should accept it, and then the should is indexed to the epistemic values posited by the parsimony thesis.
I don't care about your epistemic values, nigga. Give an argument for parsimony.
That's all proven by the analytics. Definitionally speaking, it meets the conditions for it meets the condition. It provides the condition for it to be justified. Yeah, it's justified. Like I think you're confused on like how do you justify a definition?
How do you justify a definition? Yo, I'm asking you to justify parsimony. I don't even see it as a definition.
Oh, okay. And then what does it mean? Parsimony is just. What do you think parsimony is?
Yo, I'm asking you.
It's just a concept. It's just a type of concept, right? That talks about rationally approaching things or whatever, better explanation. And their account of betterness is just when it out on set standards posed by the theory. They're not saying that this is better than any other theory. They're just saying that it's literally the theory. They're literally just talking theory when they make that term.
Keep saying the definition because I don't care about the definition. Okay, can you give an
argument?
I'm
saying I already did argument. You're just confused.
What's the argument? Because you just spouted a definition and then restated our original claims.
The argument for why it's bad to ask a question, well, the argument for why what I was saying was parsimonies was just evident. I showcased that it wins out on the parsimony principle. Two, when you ask me the argument for parsimony,
I'm asking you to justify the parsimony principle.
Why? Okay, you're asking me to justify the parsimony principle? Prove it to be the case?
Okay, cool. Yeah, justify analytics.
You know what that means?
Yo, justify analytics.
Justify analytics. Prove I mean what I mean. Like what? That's the only like what? Prove that that's the definition? Like what are you You're confused.
Yeah, you're saying this thing's gonna be you're saying this thing is gonna be analytically true.
Yo, Vomi, what is this shit ass debate?
Give an argument for why it's
This nigga's ass.
Wait, you can't posit an argument, dude. I've been asking you for the argument for parsimony.
Yo,
then
Vomi,
you just start speaking on about.
And you don't know what that means. You don't even know what that means. First, you ask for a sufficient. First, you ask for a sufficient reason for parsimony. Right? I explained to you what it is, what the should is indexed to. I was just talking about its own standard.
When I said sufficient reason,
what does it mean for parsimony to have a sufficient reason? For it to be better than other things? Because parsimony isn't making a claim it's better than other things.
When I said sufficient reasoning, I was indexed to my definition of justification because that's what you asked.
Okay, yeah, and that's not telling me anything. What does it mean for a thing to be a sufficient reason?
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead. Mentality.
How do you guys define? I just want to just help the debate go by a bit quicker. How do you both define sufficient reasoning, and how do you both define parsimony?
I'm looking for his definition of sufficient reason or argument. In this case, when we're talking about parsimony, and then parsimony, I'm just going under like what ChatGPT they talk about parsimony. Parsimony is a principle that the simplest explanation to adequately should be preferred over more complex alternatives. Right? And then I told him that when all you say when you're talking about should be preferred is just to say it is rationally or methodologically better to choose it over the alternatives when all other factors are equal. And I'm saying that's all just indexed to the internal system. Right? So when he's asking me for justification about this thing, I'm confused on what further he's asking for, because all it's talking about is the internal system and their method of approaching things. He's asking, like, when you ask me to justify that that's the internal method, it really says it's the internal method. What is the argument?
You give your definition of sufficient reasoning and then give the argument after that. Like, that's what we're trying to find out. What you mean by sufficient reasoning?
What are you talking about? The definition of sufficient reasoning and then the definition of an argument?
Is this yo?
Could you ask me for a
what? Where did you find this guy?
Exactly. Like, yo, he's lost. Like, I'm like, what are you talking about? Yo, mentality. You can see how I'm confused. Like, I don't know what you're asking me for at this point.
I'm sorry, yo. The TikTok comments cooked. I ain't going official, bro. The TikTok comments cooked, but we're never going back.
There, cause I like what? Dang, gibberish.
Spec. Okay. Spec. We don't understand. Actually, okay, but yeah, I'm going general. I want you to fill this out for us. Okay, fill this out for us, please. I think that's about parsimony wrong. Can you please fill those out for us? Tell us how we are defining these terms.
Yeah, sure, bro. Sufficient reasoning is just going to be giving, it's just having or giving as much as needed. And the reasoning there is going to be justification.
Justification is the reason. What?
Wait,
oh my gosh. You know, hey, official, bro. It's fine, bro. Hey, they'll come up one day.
Cause of explanation, bro. Anyway.
Giving as much as...
Is that correct, sir?
Parsimony could just be the simplest explanation of something. He's saying this thing is going to be more parsimonious, asking him to argument for that.
No, that's not what you're asking for. You've gone through this distinction so many different times, bro.
Why should we hold parsimony?
Okay.
We're not... Parsimony doesn't say that you should hold...
Okay.
What?
Okay. I think I'm understanding, right? So he believe. Okay. Anyways, he just believes that parsimony is the simplest explanation of X. X being like any argument, right? So I think all he's asking, you can just correct me, Spec. I think what he's asking is why we should accept the simplest explanation to be true. Is that what you're trying to ask, Spec?
Yes, bro. I'm trying to ask him that.
Oh wow, that was hard. Okay, so I'm not arguing that the simplest explanation, or we should take the simplest explanation to be true. All I said earlier was that when we talked about his scam, right? What I was saying was parsimonious.
Yeah, and that's when and after that is when I asked you, why should we take parsimony to be the case?
And I'm not saying that, but I didn't say that parsimony is the case, or we should take parsimony to be the case. I just said what I was saying was parsimonious.
Yeah, you're saying, yeah, that's just in line with saying it's going to be the case.
No, it's not. If I'm going to say that something is more probable, that's not the same thing to say that this theory of probability is true. That just says that meets its sufficient conditions to be considered more probable or more parsimonious. You absolute retard.
It's going to meet the sufficient conditions, but you haven't justified the sufficient conditions.
I did meet the conditions, because the sufficient conditions for a thing to be more parsimonious, right? Which again, what you talked about was just it being well represented, talking about the data, right? This thing having either power, be it not invoked beyond necessity. You absolute retard. And then this dog goes to prove on this point before you end how you weren't able to prove that analytically, contextually, or even in the Japanese language, when we talk about your character Nero's manipulation or the Pantheon, that it proves that the person has absolute manipulation for all possible worlds at all time. You didn't justify it. You didn't prove the case. All you did was give some fucking trivial trash reason to support the proposition. You didn't prove that proposition to be a fact. You absolute retard.
What are you calling me a retard for? I'm telling you that if it's going to be the case that he can create the concepts, then he can manipulate the concept to its full extent.
Prove that. I denied the conditional. Prove that.
You denied conditionals.
I denied the conditional. I said prove it.
You deny the conditional, so prove the conditional.
Yes.
Okay, why do you deny the conditional? Just clarify.
I don't see why it necessitates the conclusion.
And why it necessitates the conclusion is why you deny the condition.
I don't see why if the premises hold true, the conclusion must be true. You're saying if it is the case, A, he has these two abilities and this two conditions, it proves that C, or I guess we're going to use example, that he has absolute manipulation over all possible worlds and times.
Okay. Okay, so you're saying that if the premises are true, you're negating the reason that is true?
This is bad. Can you give proof for the argument?
I'm asking you what you're saying, bro.
Why aren't you giving proof? Why aren't you giving proof, bro? This is bad. Like, nigga, come back when you're ready, bro.
Official, bro. Yo, can you answer the question?
Come back. Can I just start scaling, bro? You're done.
Bro, just conclude.
You're done, bro. I'm gonna start scaling, okay?
Could you even attack my argument, bro?
Alright, bro. You can, if you feel like you justified it, bro, that's cool. I'm gonna get the scaling, bro.
I could just justify more scans anyway.
No, bro, we don't. Bro, that's not what the fans want to see, bro.
The fans, I don't care what the fans.
That's not what the viewers see, bro. That's not what they want to see.
Bro, you couldn't even, bro. Are you gonna
Alright,
attack it?
cool. Ain't say skilling. So my character is multiversal, bare minimum. You
Do I agree? No, I don't agree.
okay? Cool. I'm just gonna get to the scaling. Fucking retard. My gosh.
Wait, what? You said my character is multiversal. As in your
Bare
character?
minimum. Yeah.
As in your character?
Oh, my character. Yeah, my characters.
No, I don't think to be the case that your character is multi, bro.
Okay. I'm gonna prove it.
Yo, the com devolved, bro. I'm not gonna let the com devolved. Well, I won't say main com devolved. Like, I say TikTok com got worse.
Okay. Blah blah
So what's the
blah.
debate?
We're doing Saint Seiya versus Hero from whatever boo ass universe he has.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, cool.
I never
Blah,
thought
blah,
I'd see
blah.
a versus battle debate again.
Yeah,
We try to bring it back, bro.
Yo, what are you talking about? You gonna negate what I was talking about?
bro, your ass. Like, can you please be quiet?
Official, you're garbage. Be quiet.
Nobody agreed. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to type. I didn't mean to type save. Somebody restart it here. Let me restart the rec. Thanks, Vert. Alright, cool. Alright, bro. So here we go. Seiya prior to. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so Seiya awakened to the seventh sense, and he was able to create a Big Bang. So he can literally create universes, time, and everything.
Why does this Big Bang directly mean that he created a Big Bang? What? Like,
Why does
just in reference
there's
to
only one? There's only one Big Bang talking about.
Yo, let me just look at this again.
What the fuck other Big Bangs are talking about?
No, okay, what I'm saying, Big Bang. Just because he says Big Bang doesn't mean it's an actual Big Bang. What?
Just because who says it? The author?
What? I'm just saying,
Did
since
you
the
say
character says Big Bang doesn't entail that it's an
my
actual
claim
Big
isn't
Bang.
because it's a character, it's the author. The
It's the
precondition
author
for
saying it's a
the
Big Bang.
precondition for the character being able to bang is if the author read it. The author read, oh, he created oh, is awakening the highest sense. His below no his have created a big, and then somebody said prior to that a Big Bang. What more else is the author? Like, what are you talking about? He literally wrote Big Bang. Talking about
Oh, okay, I'm
more like
asking
the
you, why does
kanji,
Big Bang entail an actual Big Bang?
because
You lost?
that's what it means by definition.
No? What?
The Big
Okay,
Bang
let
by
me just clarify on that. Just because, okay, I already stated what I meant, bro.
what do you
Yeah,
mean?
you already heard what I said, Doc. Just because it says Big Bang doesn't entail it's an actual
Yes, it
Big Bang.
does. Yes, it does.
Okay, why is that the case?
Because how the author truths are, as far as manga goes, is off of what's written. And when you write Big Bang in language, that's what it means. Right? That's literally how language works.
Are you
You don't just
saying
write
no?
you don't just write Big Bang and Big Bang all of a sudden means turkey in Japanese or English. Like, what are you
No,
talking about?
it's equivalence,
And then
Doc.
if the author turkey, you'd have to connect those two meanings. For example, speaker meaning and audience. That's how the author makes the fiction series. So if he's going to go out and referring to a Big Bang by what's understood, he has to use language that we already know to explain that. Otherwise, there's no connecting there's no connecting
Yeah,
there's no way of connecting what the author's to the
Okay, first
fans.
of all, yeah, your main claim was that the author is just going to be writing this. It's just going to be some sort of, like, it's just going to be colloquial with when we say Big Bang. Just because okay, and I already stated this, just because there's a big shine and it says Big Bang, doesn't mean it's the literal Big Bang.
Yes, it
I don't
does.
know where you're getting this person. Wait, what? Yo, are you lost?
If an
How does
author
that
writes,
feel?
if the
How does
author writes Big Bang in the series, then it is a Big Bang, unless he uses language to change that. Especially when we're talking about, you know how mangas, you have to write the things into the series. So if you write Big Bang, or if you write, oh, I'm not actually meaning this to Bang, you have to write, I'm not actually meaning this Big Bang. But he wrote, he has created a Big Bang. That's why it's true. Do you not know the track?
Yo, a Big Bang can be referred to as an explosion.
A Big Bang can be referred to as an explosion.
Yes. When I say to someone, I heard the Big Bang, that doesn't mean I'm saying I heard the creation of
Bro,
the universe.
language, well, hold on, Ecuador, because language doesn't, it's not about, oh, what you can possibly talk about live speaking, right? It's about agreed upon the official ones.
No,
It's
it's
not
not.
about,
You have many
yes,
false
it
translation
is.
definitions.
Wait, for it to be a false translation, the original thing, okay, sorry, for it to be a false translation, the newer piece of manga has to contradict the initial one, and the only way to contradict that is what the author wrote. You can't contradict what the author intends in the story, and that is a contradiction. It's only a contradiction if you contradict what the author said. Kanji speaking, Big Bang. Hold on, whoa, whoa,
I'm
whoa,
not
whoa,
talking
whoa,
about
whoa.
the author in this case. I'm talking about the
Stop,
actual
stop,
literal.
stop, 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 stop. Stop, stop, stop. So when you look at the kanji, when you look at, hold on,
You're strawmanning my point, nigga. I don't care what
hold
you're
on,
saying.
whoa,
I'm
whoa.
not talking
I'm
about the
not done. I'm not done.
author.
I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm not done.
Oh, you went rambling on. Hold on.
No, I'm not.
Anyway,
I'm not.
I'm not in reference to what the author
So
is
the
saying.
kanji. So when you look at the kanji. When you look at the kanji, by definition, right? It's talking about the theory Big Bang. They're creating an actual Big Bang, not a Big Bang as an explosion. They have specific categories in Japanese for that. Do you want to see how they refer to as explosion?
How they refer to as
And then on
explosion.
top of that, they literally showcase, and then on top of that, the drawing literally shoots out as like what the actual scientific depiction of a Big Bang would be, or how it is generally looked at, as in this massive emergence of light, the cosmos, and everything. You see how it goes from dark, and then now they're all in space and everything like that. That's only associated with the Big Bang, not an explosion as in a bomb. So that's retarded as well, bro. Even if you're gonna argue that, oh, they're
Wait, yo.
listen, they literally
Yo,
show
first of
instead
all,
it's a Big Bang.
First of all, okay, yeah, I'll just address that, dude. Yeah. So first of all, the kanji that you're talking about, right? I don't see any kanji. I just see Spanish and then the English translation. And for the second scan, we see them fighting somewhere. This doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be in this void unless you can prove that. Prove
Wait,
that they're in a void. Because
prove
you're
that they're
saying
in a
that
void?
you're okay. What you're saying, right, is that this Big Bang is going to entail that it's just going to be the creation of the universe. And if this is the creation of the universe, and they were existing outside of the observable or infinite universe, right? Or there was nothing there, and this Big Bang is the creation, then prove that.
Okay, well, only thing that I'm claiming that I claimed earlier was that prior to that, there wasn't this big cosmos, stars, and everything, right? And that's shown in the scan, right? The author didn't write that into existence, but after he wrote Big Bang, we literally get the explosion of stars, cosmos, and everything, which is literally what the Big Bang does. So the author showed us via language and imagery that it is a Big Bang. Can you show me imagery what else that is?
Can I show you imagery what else that
Image
is?
wise,
Yeah,
like what is
I
depicted?
already
What
made
is
my point
this?
clear, buddy. You're just fighting in the cosmos, and then a Big Bang happens, it's an explosion. Can
Hello?
you show me the kanji for an explosion?
The concept an explosion, sure. The explosion.
Like big, oh, an explosion. Oh, what?
Japanese. Oh, another reason why what's the Big Bang in verse. Hello?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah. Also, don't think in verse, right? A Big Bang can refer to a regular explosion. The author never wrote that. But he did write a Big Bang by definition to be the creation of like the Lilith theory. So you can't say inverse. You can't say inverse wise. It's an explosion because for it to be an explosion, you have to again use language to showcase that it can refer to an explosion. But he already showcased because for any type of truth in a series, there requires a truth maker. So in this case, for what you're saying, there is no truth maker for contextually this being able to refer to inverse as an explosion, but
yes,
there is a truth maker in my scenario as a Big Bang referring to universe creation.
Already made this clear. Just because it says Big Bang doesn't entail it's a Big Bang unless there's
Wait, are you engaging? Are you going to engage with the argument?
Do you have another scan that actually helps your situation or no?
I already hold on. Engage with my argument.
Are you going to engage with your argument?
No, I said, are you going to engage with the argument or no?
I'm engaged with the argument currently.
The Big Bang under in the series interpretation.
Under the series of okay, yeah. So you're saying he can't use metaphors?
No, I'm saying that in the case for what you're saying to be possible in verse, the author would have had to make that thing possible in verse using language or showing it to be the case. He doesn't show that to be the case.
Are you saying it has to verbatim be stated?
I'm saying the author has to implement it into this series, whether it be via imagery or the language. But he never listen. It never says it that the Big Bang, and then he says that he's the highest sense of seven sense. He wouldn't have said that, and his reasoning for coming to that conclusion again was the fact that seven sense saints, when they are working the seven sense, they're able to create universe level attacks and big bangs and create universe and stuff like that. So
yeah. So anyway, this could be a metaphor. He also said
no, it can't. Oh my God! Prove it's possible.
Prove it's possible to make
inverse.
It bigger.
Prove it's inverse. Prove it's possible metaphor. Prove it's possible inverse to be a metaphor. Actually speaking.
Why would I need to do that?
Because then again, for you to say that it's possible in Saint Seiya for it to be referring to X, the author would have to make that true.
Wait. Okay. So anyway, you're not giving me a reason on why I would need to prove this.
Yes, I did.
That's your burden.
I literally just gave you a reason. Because if it is the case that you can't prove the truth maker for the possibility, you can't say it's possible. Every possibility requires a truth maker.
Okay, so that's just an argument from ignorance.
What? No, it's not.
That's just an argument from ignorance.
Okay, so again, are you saying that it is the case it's true that you're possible? Are you saying it is the case that it's true what you're saying is possible, fictionally speaking?
I'm saying he can use metaphors.
For it to be true, you know what the precondition for when you're saying something is true? There has to be a truth maker. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about things being true. You're fucking confused. That's not a presupposition.
No, bro. Oh.
What do you mean no?
I'm saying he can use metaphors. You didn't deny.
I agree that the author can implement I agree that the metaphor. What I disagree with is that in this specific scenario, we're examining the potential interpretation of the scan. You cannot interpret it this way because you haven't proven it fictionally to be a possible factor. you talking about something being logically possible is not proof indirectly that it's fictionally contextually a possible explanation. Right? Those two things are not the same thing. They operate under two different domains.
Yeah, it's just another
That's
argument.
not an argument from ignorance. The proof of the proof of it was the fact that these things operate under different domains.
If you
Therefore, the conditions that you would establish truth in another domain be different in that domain. How are you going to evaluate the truth or the falseness of if the parameters for its quality and truth is going to be under a different domain?
Yo, okay. Anyway, just two arguments from ignorance.
Okay, so again, for you to say, would you agree that it is the case? Listen. Here's the reductio. For you to say that there's another explanation for Gojo using the infinity, you would have to say that, well, for us to be sure of this possibility, there would have to actually be no type of contradiction in this explanation.
Yeah, okay. What if Gojo
being true rather than the infinity, right?
Wait, is this an argument? Like, is this?
No, I'm showing the reductio, right? But hold on, I'm showing the reductio. But those two things are only acceptable under the scenario A, we have the possibility, right, without contradiction, right? To say it, unless the author is saying that, I'm not going to deny that condition, bro. I'm not going to getting too deep. Essentially, possibility, truth makers, yes or no?
We could just conclude, bro. Like,
for something to be possible, for you to say that